Hi, Mr. Richards here, and today's lesson is on multiplying polynomials. In the first example, we're going to find the product by using the distributive property. Now, we've taken the distributive property and said, okay, I'm going to take y and distribute to terms inside the parentheses. In this example, we're actually going to take not only the y, but this positive 8 as well. So our first step is going to be to take this y and distribute it to the y here and the negative 4 here. Now, y times y is y squared. Y times negative 4 is going to be written as a minus or negative 4y. Now we get to look at the second term in that first set of parentheses. We're going to take the 8 and multiply by the y and the negative 4. So, this positive 8 distributed to the y, 8 times y is going to be a positive 8y, and then 8 times this negative 4 is going to be negative 32. And when we look to combine terms that are in common to simplify, we have this negative 4y and positive 8y. We're left with y squared plus negative 4 plus 8 is 4y minus 32. And that is our solution. For our next example, why don't you try this one on your own? Find the product of 2x plus 1 times x plus 6. Go ahead, pause the video, and attempt the problem. Now I'm going to reveal the answer. If you have the answer correct, you can skip the explanation and go on to the next question. The answer to this question is 2x squared plus 13x plus 6. So if you have this correct, once again, you can skip the explanation and go to the next example. Now, if you didn't get this answer, hang on, don't skip, and here is the explanation. As we look here, we're going to have to distribute the 2x times the x and the positive 6. So 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 6 is a positive 12x. And then we're going to take the 1. 1 times x is just 1x, or x. And 1 times 6 is, well, 6. Combine those middle terms. We're going to have 2x squared plus 13x plus 6. Now, if you're using our textbook here, this is where the book would say, okay, make sure you know how to FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. And this is a method of solving these types of polynomials, but in the end, I don't want you to learn just a special rule just because it's a special rule and it's the way things have seemingly been done even since I was in school, which really wasn't that long ago. But it wants you to go, okay, multiply the first terms, that's the f in FOIL. Then multiply the outer terms. Okay, well, we did that when we distributed. Then do the inner terms. Well, we also did that when we distributed. Then do the last. I mean, it's the same exact thing we've been doing. We just call it something fancy. So, you know what? I'm going to go be bold here. Forget about the FOIL method. Just learn how to distribute. Forget about the special rule here, and let's just focus on distributing. And so, if we take the z times the z, that leaves us with z squared. If we take the z times the negative 12, that is negative 12z. Then, if we take this negative 6 times z, that's a negative 6z. And the negative 6 times negative 12 is a positive 72. Combine those like terms in the middle so that we're left with z squared minus 18z plus 72. So once again, we're forgetting about the FOIL rule and just learning how to distribute. Just like example 1b, go ahead, try this example on your own, pause the video right now so that you can try this before I reveal the answer. All right, time to reveal the answer. The answer is 10x squared plus 32x minus 32. So once again, if you got this correct, go ahead and skip on to the next example. If not, here is the explanation. And I'm thinking as I'm recording this here that I know some of my students like to listen to my videos on mute and are probably looking at this going, why is he giving us the answers first? I really don't understand. So if you're one of those who are listening to this on mute right now, well, first off, you're not hearing me talk about you, but if you are listening to me, you know exactly the classmates that I'm talking about. Anyways, as we distribute here, we're going to take this 5x times the 2x to be 10x squared. 5x times the 8 gets me a positive 40x. And then as I distribute the second term, negative 4 times 2x is a negative 8x. And negative 4 times a positive 8 is a negative 32. So as I finish this answer, we combine those terms in the middle. We're left with the 10x squared plus 32x minus 32. This once again is supposed to be an example about foiling, but we're just using our distribution properties here. A patio in the shape of a triangle shown below is being built in a backyard. The dimensions are given in feet. The area A of a triangle is 1/2 the height times the base, 1/2 base times height. Write an expression for the area of the patio. So area is going to equal 1/2 base times height. So area is going to be 1/2 times my base of 6x plus 4 times the height of x minus 7. Now, before distributing this, I'm just kind of looking at this problem and thinking, I can distribute this 1/2 to the 6x and the 4 and still get pretty nice integers. So let's do that now. Let's take the 1/2 and distribute to the 6x and the 4. So area is going to be 1/2 times 6x is 3x. 1/2 times 4 is 2. So that takes us to 3x plus 2 times x minus 7. And now we can use our distribution. Let's take 3x times x to get 3x squared. 3x times this negative 7 is negative 21x. Our 2 times x is a positive 2x. And our 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. And lastly, as I combine those terms in the middle, I'm left with 3x squared minus 19x minus 14. And of course, this is units squared. So if you're given an area question, before you use your distribution on these things, look to see if any of these can be multiplied by 1/2 easily. Now, one of the main reasons why I'm teaching you not to use the FOIL method is that this way you can easily just look at more complicated questions and just think, all I need to do is distribute. And that's this case here. You can take this 3a and distribute to all 3 terms in the other group. So 3a times a squared is 3a to the 3rd. 3a times the negative 12a is negative 36a squared. And 3a times 1 is, well, just 3a. And then you can take the second term, the 4, and distribute. Now, see how I line this up. Maybe you'll like this, maybe you won't. Up to you. You can either continue writing it this way or try to combine vertically. 4 times a squared is a positive 4a squared. Notice how I just wrote it right underneath. 4 times negative 12a is a negative 48a. And then lastly, 4 times 1 is just a positive 4. And now everything's neatly grouped and lined up for you to solve. The 3a cubed is alone. Negative 36 plus 4. That gets you the negative 32a squared. 3 minus 48 is the negative 45 5a, and our 4 just kind of hanging out there. So we have 3a cubed minus 32a squared minus 45a plus 4. Just like examples 1b and I think it was 2b, why don't you go ahead and try this example on your own. Pause the video, attempt the question, and then we'll see if you have the right answer. All right, here is the big reveal. Our answer, 2b to the 4th plus 13b to the 3rd plus 28b squared plus 20b minus 9. If you have that example right, you can just finish your video here. This is Mr. Richards. You just watched the video. Good luck. Now, if you're not right, let's try again. Now, anytime you're working with b's, you have to be really careful that they don't turn into 6s, and hopefully that won't happen here. Now, we're going to take each of these 3 terms in here and distribute to these 3 terms. And it gets a little bit complicated. But again, if you use that vertical method that we used in example 4a, that may help you to organize all of these terms. So we're going to start off with the 2b coming to this b squared. 2b squared times b squared is 2b to the 4th. Next, we'll take that 2b squared and multiply it by the 3b, and 2 times 3 is 6, so we're left with 6. b squared times b is b to the 3rd. And lastly, 2b squared times negative 1 is a negative 2b squared. Now what about the 7b? All right, we're going to take 7b times b squared, and that's going to be b times b squared is b to the 3rd. So let's line it up here. 7b times b squared is a positive 7b to the 3rd. Then 7b times 3b is going to be a b squared of some sort, so we'll line it up under our b squared. That's going to be a positive 21b squared. And as we distribute to the last negative 1 here, 7b times negative 1 is negative 7b. Now we have one more term in here that we need to distribute. We're going to take this 9 and distribute to the b squared as our colors start to get really crazy here. But 9 times b squared, that's just going to be in the b squared column. So plus 9b squared. 9 times 3b, well, 9 times 3 is 27. It's going to be plus 27b. And lastly, 9 times negative 1 is a minus 9, or negative 9. And as we go to combine our like terms here, we just have our 2b to the 4th alone, so we're left with here 2b to the 4th. Our then 6b cubed plus 7b cubed is simply 13b to the 3rd. Then negative 2 plus 21 is 19, plus 9 is 28, so 28b squared. For our b's, negative 7 plus 27 is 20b, and then we just have our minus 9. Now that is it for this lesson. Good luck.